Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a little bit since my last video, but I want to make one today because the price action today was just it was really strong, but it was also very annoying for me. Like I had a really hard time connecting on it. So I just want to make a quick recap, kind of going over what happened, and this mainly be for myself to look back on for studying, but if someone else finds this video useful in any way, then I might as well make it, doesn't hurt anybody. So today we had the stock SNGX, and it was extremely strong pre-market. I have the video right here up of my screen recording today, and you can see just all morning long it just kept going higher and higher and higher. It was incredibly strong, and it was giving a decent pullback into the open. So this is good to see. I like to see pullbacks into the open, but if you traded this today, you kind of know where this went. Um, but and I actually in the beginning of the day I actually did pretty good trading this, but eventually it got to the point where I kept like you'll see kind of how this goes. I kept making money and then giving it back because the way that it was trading on this dip that I'm going to show you guys in a bit, it was like if it goes down to a point where it looked like it was failing, so it stopped me out, and then it would come back up and then start looking good again. So it just and then when we did get follow through, it would just immediately fail. So really, what happened was I was selling lows, and then I'd buy back low still, and I looked to hold for a bigger move, but the bigger move really just never came when I was like in the stock. And you'll see in this video that I took the same trade like maybe I'd say probably four times, and it just like every time it would make a decent move up, and I'd be up a decent bit of money, but it'd just come back down, and then it would go so far down to the point where it was looking like it was failing, like it was gonna like just flush down and halt or something. So I literally like following my own rules. I had to stop out. Overall, I'm not frustrated with today. I think I traded it okay. Unfortunately, it just was weird momentum, and it was annoying. Um, but when it comes to having really strong stocks, like we've seen yet like yesterday and today, um, you know, it comes with the territory where things get a bit more unpredictable than they usually are. So let's just get right into it. So we'll start off here. So I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at SNGX, and then I'm also looking at the other one. I forgot the name of it. But right here, I put a limit order out at 620 for SNGX for the open, and then I'm going to be watching QURE for the opening dip. I like to buy dips at the open for these kind of stocks. So I'm really sitting here waiting for a solid dip to buy. But on QURE, we never did get a dip. We did not get a dip on QURE, so I never bought in on it. But eventually I do get filled on SNGX, which I'll also let it play out here because it was kind of fast. And you see QURE did start dipping a bit, but it wasn't enough. So I see that I got filled, and then I quickly switch back over to SNGX, and I see that I'll pause it real quick. We'll pause it. You'll see that it dipped down to literally the exact price where I put that order out. So thankfully I did get filled, but that was honestly a pretty close one. I almost didn't get filled on this, I'm sure. So really when I switched over and I saw that it was moving up, I just immediately sold, which is kind of what I usually do. But I don't know, this morning it's kind of all over the place this morning because there's two really strong stocks. So I did sell maybe a bit earlier than I usually would, but considering the momentum that I was seeing, I didn't think that this had much room to go higher without like a really big pullback. Which you'll see that I actually was right to sell. We did see a massive pullback on SNGX. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip forward a bit to the next trade. Let's see. Oh, I missed it. Hold on. So okay, so the next trade is going to be on QURE because eventually it fails those pre-market highs, and it does dip here to 90 MA. It dips, but I'm seeing that there's no bounce, so I just immediately get out of it. Like really, that was like I held that for like less than 2 seconds. Like I saw that it just kind of had a weird look to it where it was failing, and it was just kind of like no bounce. It looked like there was no bounce, so I just ended up selling it immediately. And I saw that this was coming up. SNGX saw it was coming up, and I was keeping an eye on it. Um, Honestly, I wasn't confident in it at all because of like the kind of stock it is. And I here on a normal day, I probably would be okay. I actually did buy the dip because I saw it was bouncing. I saw this was bouncing, so I bought a dip here. So this was I think it was my first red trade. Um, the dip here, it was decent, but it just wasn't great. And I also did get a pretty high fill. I don't know if I actually bought it there or not, but maybe I got a bit of a higher fill than I should have there. So the trade was decent, and I saw that it was bouncing, which kind of made me think that maybe if it got back above 630, it could be good because that's a support level that I have marked. But I think yeah, it closes below 630, and then I was really looking for it to start going up in this next candle right here. But when it started pulling back more, I was like, yeah, I just gotta cut it. Um, it does kind of linger around a bit longer, but it just doesn't give the follow through that I was looking for. So I did end up cutting it there. And as you can see, I kept switching between these two stocks, QURE and SNGX, because they were both very strong pre-market. So I was hoping maybe to see a good follow through on these two stocks today. But I really don't think I traded QURE that much. And I saw this stock come up, but I never traded it because I didn't like the chart that much. Zap was also going up a bit. SNG, I saw SNGX make this really big move. Okay, hold on. I actually took a trade. Let me skip to where did I buy the trade at? Let's see where we went. So SNGX. Okay, I see that it did actually hold this dip. It actually held the dip that I bought, which I ended up selling. And then I saw that was coming up, and it broke through this like little resistance area we had. So I waited for a little bit of a dip. I bought, and then I sold into the highs there. And right here, I was looking for it to have more follow through the pre-market highs, but we didn't get it. And thankfully, I didn't fall for this trap here. I was very, very careful this morning because I had a feeling it would be a little weird today. I was very careful with the dips. And as you can see right now, I'm up 100, like around $100, um, which that's like a decent day for me. It's kind of average. But it's decent. But I want to get to the part where I was having a really hard time. And so this is like the first trade. And really, so all these trades I had a hard time with today were on like the VWAP dips, which by the way, this white line down here is the VWAP, is a volume weighted average price. And it's an indicator that I usually use often. And I find to have a pretty consistent success rate with buying dips on. Um, So that's kind of why I bought this. And you'll see I keep taking the same dip over and over again. And I don't want to skip through all these trades, but this one I cut. Yeah, I cut it down here. Actually, I sold it at these lows of the VWAP, which is maybe not the best idea. But I did sell it because it looked like it was going down too much. And I wasn't really willing to hold it. Because I was looking for like an immediate bounce on that. I was looking for an immediate bounce on that trade, and it just didn't give it to me. So I see it come down here to VWAP, and it's trading below it. And I'm seeing we are seeing a bit of a bounce. So I think I do buy again. I buy here, and this is where the price action starts getting annoying, by the way. Because up to now, the price action's been a little choppy, but it's not been like annoying per se. It's just been choppy. But you'll kind of see here what I'm talking about. It's really like I had a feeling that this was going to be a very good stock today, and that's why I was taking maybe a bit bigger size than I usually would on these dips. And I was looking for a longer hold. I was looking for it to maybe break through $6 and hold above it, and then make a move back up towards like $7. Now I wasn't planning on selling at $7. I was probably looking to sell maybe at like 630s or 650 would be nice with this trade here. But you'll kind of see what happens here. It's like for the first few trades, it comes up to $6. And I'm gonna skip it forward a bit. I'm still holding this trade here that I bought down at 570. I'm still holding this trade. And I'm looking for a follow through in this candle. I think it has a decent look right here for a follow through up to 6 or through $6. And you can see how it's kind of coming up. It's a little slow though. It's a little slow, but it is coming up. And I'm looking for a strong breakout through 6. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. But hold on, I went a bit too far. I wish there was like a way to go to like 10 seconds instead of 30 on this. But since it's that, let's do 30 seconds. But as you can see, it's kind of coming up towards $6 here. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's looking okay. And then out of nowhere, it just flushes down. Okay. And then it's failing. It looks like, to me, on any other stock, this kind of looks like a failing setup to me. It looks like a failing VWAP dip. So I had to sell because I risked getting caught in either a massive flush or a halt down here. So I was like, I can't hold this. You know, it's like I can't afford to hold it. Really, my stop loss here was like 560s. And I see it coming up here again, and it's bouncing up. And I'm like, good grief, it's chopping me out. So I do get back in for the dip because it held so well. Like, this is the second time we've broken through VWAP and we've gotten a really, really good hold. So I'm seeing this as like, okay, now it's gotta go, right? It's gotta go now. So I'm in this trade now. I'm looking to hold it for a bit longer. And I think this time it actually does touch $6. I'm pretty sure. If I'm remembering correctly. I'm skipping forward a bit here so I'll take up too much time. So here, it's at $6 right now. It's at $6. And it's kind of dipping a little bit before, it looks like it's dipping before it breaks out. That's kind of how it looks right now to me. So it's like a dipping, it starts to look like it's going to break out to $6. And it is kind of lingering here, which is kind of a red flag for me. But I was still thinking how, like, this, I had a feeling this was going to be a really strong stock today. And it looked like it was going to be setting up for a good breakout through 6. But then it gets to the point where it pulls back so much that it is failing again. It's failing again. And really I'm thinking, my stop loss is below VWAP. And it goes below VWAP again. It goes below the white line once again. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm stopped out. And I see that it's bouncing. It's like, oh my God, there's no way that it's going to do this again. And look at this. It's going to do it again. It's going to come down so far to the point where it looks like it's going to fail. And then, so it's going to stop me out. And then it's going to start bouncing. So I get back in. So really, it's really the best option here would have been to hold and have extremely high risk, and that's not the kind of trading that I like to do. That kind of risk here, like on a stock that's, on a normal day, stocks that kind of go below VWAP like this, sometimes they just flush and they can halt down, and you can be looking at a massive red day if you do that, if you don't get stopped out soon. So that's kind of why I keep selling every time it comes down here, because I'm thinking, oh my God, it's gonna just halt down. And here it does. Look at this. Look at this. By the way, look at how it was really fast. It was really, really fast. It was really fast. So we finally come back up towards $6. It does a really, really good breakout. It does a really big breakout. I'm up like, I don't know, like 150 at the highs or something. It's looking really, really good. Really good. And in the matter of less than 5 seconds, really, not only does it does a false breakout setup, a really big one in fact, but it flushes through VWAP again, dude. Again, it flushes through VWAP. So the problem here, here's the thing. I was doing good at managing my risk because it's kind of like I can't risk holding into a massive flush or even a halt down. But maybe I should have been taking profits on when it came up to $6. And it kind of seems like what people were doing because of like a lot of people were probably taking profits in these areas. Even though I thought it was really strong and I thought it had potential to get through like $7 today, other people probably just didn't see that, and they're thinking that $6 in this area is probably going to be the highs before it does a bigger move down. Maybe it was going on. Um, and once again, it's stopping me out. It stopped me out again, dude. It stopped me out again. So, and also, if anybody here is watching this video and you're new to my channel, I'm on a cash account. I'm not above PDT. So it's stopping me out over and over again, and I'm running low on cash now because if you don't know the cash accounts, they you have to wait to get your money back till the next day. So I've used probably like 80% of the money that I have available to trade with. Just trading this garbage, really annoying price action where it would just come down, stop me out, and then I'd keep getting back in because it looks good again. So, and in fact, I see that it's holding. I'm sure I try buying again, and as you can see right here, you have you do not have the sufficient funds to place this order. I ran out of money because I was just getting turned around back and forth with this price action where it would just come up and then come down. It would stop me out, and it I don't know. And this is kind of like this is my strategy that I've been using. And unfortunately today, the 1 minute chart was my weakness. Honestly, it was my weakness today, and thankfully I didn't have a massive red day because at the end of the day I was buying the dips, and I was buying dips today, but I wasn't selling when it was going up, and that's probably my biggest mistake. Even though I had a feeling that this had a big move in it. And by the way, I'm sure you guys knew about the stock today, or at least looking at it if you're watching this video. It did end up working. This trade that I was kind of anticipating this entire time, it actually did work, and the stock went up to like $13 today. Now, there's no way I would have held to $13. That's not my strategy. But even if I was able to hold up to like 650s or $7, that would have made a very, very good green day for me today. You know, like I said, I mean, there's no way I would have held to $13 today, but like even just getting up to like $7, 650, it made a very good green day. But I got chopped around so much that it got to the point where I couldn't even try the trading it. I couldn't even try trading it anymore because I ran out of money. I ran out of money to be using for this, and um, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. This is what happens when you're on a cash account. I'll get all the money back tomorrow so I can trade more tomorrow, and you know, hopefully this doesn't happen again. But who knows? I mean, this maybe is the current theme of these stocks where it's just going to chop you out over and over again at these lows. And I hope that's not the case because it's just going to keep messing me up. But that's pretty much the end of this recording. I would like to also mention that I actually do end this day up like $20 because it says I don't have enough money, but I actually did have a little bit more money. So I ended up lowering my share size to 200 shares, and I did catch a decent trade once it broke above $6 and it held. I'm pretty sure I bought around $6 and I sold around 650 to 640s. And it ended up just going straight, like it just went straight up. Like I probably shouldn't have sold, but I was losing confidence in the stock, and I just wanted to get some profits out. So today was basically a flat day, which is okay. I can't be red or green every single day. And really, at the end of the day, being small green is a lot better than losing a crap ton of money because with this price action, I could have lost a ton of money on these flushes. But really, at the end of the day, I just lost the potential gain, or I guess you could say the unrealized profit. So yeah, and in total, I didn't really lose much money on these, but I did lose a lot of unrealized gains, which it is what it is. I was looking for a bigger move, but every time I came up when it started looking good, it just came right back down. So let me, if you guys are watching this video still, let me know how you did on the stock. Let me know your thoughts. I know a lot of people don't trade on the 1 minute chart like I do. My strategy is really, it's mainly looking at the 1 minute chart. So, and today the 1 minute chart really messed me up today because I'm sure if I was looking at the 5 minute chart, I probably would have been better off. So I'm sure there's people who will be like, "Man, you should be using the 5 minute chart instead." But honestly, it's just not my strategy. So like I said, let me know your thoughts. If you have any thoughts or opinions, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. And if you want more videos like this, or if you just like this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos, hit that subscribe button with the bell notification on. And I will be out of here. Peace out.